Hi, my name is Maria and welcome back to Vixens Victorious, where today I'll be talking about the Fever and Lightning game. This was the minor semi-final, so whoever lost was eliminated and everyone went through the primary final and plays loser of the major semi-final, which was Giants. It was Lightning's home game. Well, not technically, it's meant to be Fever's home game, but it's sort of like Lightning home crowd, because COVID, and everything, fun stuff. But yeah, I feel like I stand by my previous statements. It is Fever's year for sure. Especially after last year, you feel like they'd come out fighting, and they definitely have. In the first quarter, Fever won 1960. And then in the second quarter, it was 21 by Fever and 17 by Lightning. The thing is, Lightning was never really they didn't do like what the Vixens did, the fall behind by a large score in like the first half. But it was sort of like, but it just all added up at the end, you know what I'm saying? So even though they're only behind by like 3 goals by first quarter time, by the end of a half time they were like about like 7 goals by half time, and it's like they didn't even have a bad quarter. It was, they only lost the second quarter by 4 points. So it's like they didn't do too bad, but they weren't doing good enough to just pull the lead back in. In the third quarter, Lightning did well. It was Fever 14 to Lightning 19. But they just need to do a little bit more than that. And in the end, it was 21 Fever and 15 to Lightning. So as at the end of the day, the total scores were 75 to Fever and 67 to Lightning. So lost by 8 points, 8 goals. 8 goals, it sounds like, it looks like a big score from the naked eye, but it's really not that big of a difference. I think it's just Lightning just need to be a little bit more consistent. Courtney Bruce played an amazing game. From what I saw, definitely created a lot of opportunities for Fever. Bostu Steffel just played really well for Lightning. She is just so good at shooting. Hence why she is in the goal circle. But yeah, no, Courtney Bruce, just I looked at the highlights, was just so good at defense. She was just in there at every ball, every opportunity. And that's definitely what helped Fever out. Maybe if Lightning just sort of minimized those turnovers, it would have been closer, and it would have been a different result, obviously. If they've won, we don't know. But yeah, I think it's just a bit of discipline and knowing when to let go of the ball and how to let go of the ball, so you know that you put your teammate in the best position to get the ball. But sometimes not possible, especially when you're up with a good defense like Courtney Bruce. She's amazing. So with the match performance with goals, Fever were 92% and Lightning were 87%. So maybe if they were just a little bit more accurate, they would have come closer and would have had a better possibility of winning. With super shots, Fever were 80% with 4 out of 5, and Lightning were 40%, 6 out of 15. They would have got more super shots, and So they lost by what, 8, right? So they would have, like, if they would have got all leaders in, they would have won by like 1 point. Even if they got like just more accurate shooting. So obviously it's the not just the turnovers that let Lightning down, but also too just their accuracy in shooting. But I guess sometimes when you're under pressure, it's hard to sort of shoot calmly, and as a result, you sort of messed up a little bit, if that makes sense. There's a lot riding on an elimination final, semi-final. Especially in front of your home crowd. I feel like there's definitely a bit of nerves there. There's a lot of emotion, but you know, it's you have to keep a clear head for sure. Now let's talk about my favorite players. Like I said before, I feel like for Lightning it's definitely Steph Wood. She's so accurate. I don't know, just like, even though there was a connection between Wood and Kernan, it obviously didn't pull them through the line like you would have hoped it would. But you know, Steph Wood's brilliant all the time. And my favourite for FIBA, especially looking back at the highlights, is definitely Courtney Bruce. I feel like it's some of the best defending I've sort of seen. Kind of just all season, to be honest. You know, of course, you know, Sterling is great too, but like Courtney Bruce, I'm Australian, so I have to be biased. So what happens next is FIBA is playing Giants. I feel like, yeah, FIBA shouldn't have any issues with the Giants. I mean, the only issue that I have is that Giants do well in super shots, so they are going to have to get to a big lead, and they are going to have to hold on to that lead, and that's what they're going to do. If Courtney Bruce just keeps doing what she does, like she did against Lightning, then there should be no issue for FIBA to win. Like the only issue I'd have that FIBA would face against Giants is that they're so good at shooting super shots. But you know, so is Steph Wood, and they handled that pretty well. So yeah, for me, it's my pick is easily FIBA to win, and then obviously the grand final matchup will be FIBA and the Swifts. Yeah, no, I think I kind of picked Giants and FIBA to be in the grand final, but you know, life happens, and then you have to alternate. But yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. It's just definitely going to be interesting. You know, these teams are in the final for a reason, because they're so consistent, they're so strong, and it's just, we'll just have to see who's better on the day. You know, just because FIBA is great, doesn't mean that they'll perform their best on the day. But that goes the same for any other team. They could have like a mishap day, but yeah. That will be it for me today. I know it's a little bit of a shorter video, but yeah, if you like it, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below some of your favourite moments of the FIBA Lightning game, and who you think is going to win out of FIBA and Giants. But yeah, that's it for me this week. I'll be back next week with the FIBA Giants game. And yeah, I hope you all have a good week, and I hope you're all staying safe and lockdown. And, see ya.